Hello and welcome. This is Alchemistexe and this is the weekly update. So Phantom of the Kill is back, and with it we have a new unit and new memento. She is not technically a god killer, but she's sort of in that vein where she doesn't have enlightenment. She's just really strong. Definitely recommend trying out the mercenary, one for the gems and then two to get a feel for the character to see if you want them. We'll go over the banner overview and like the best way to acquire her because it's pretty simple this time around. And then let's take a look at what else is new. So since Phantom of the Kill is back, we have our long list of dailies now. And it can seem like a lot, especially if this is your first Phantom of the Kill. It can really make your head spin. So yeah, if you're new, just clearing the content is a good priority because there's a lot of stuff you can get, a lot of free gears. Most of whom aren't going to be that useful, but a few of them might be. And then, depending on if you end up with any of the Phantom of the Kill units, you can get important items for them. So definitely, if this is your first go around, make sure to do all of those quests and get all of the accompanying milestones. Alright, what else do we have? There is another celebration quest for the anniversary, and this time it is the Soul Shard type. So it only shows normal pool units. I think we've been through this before, but you can also get global original units as well. I got 5 shards of Morrigan and 5 shards of Blair today, so at least there's that. I don't believe there's any other limited units, at least not to my knowledge. Let's see. There are a few miscellaneous quests, like the Dylan Apple. You get 100 of those, so I recommend doing that every day. I already used all 100 of them on Narrow. So they go pretty fast, because like this Gate 6 is definitely what I'd call an apple eater. So definitely do those quests. Just the usual enlightenment stuff. If this is your first experience seeing one of the Xeno Towers, they tend to come with a once-a-day quest for the element you should be using on the tower, and it gives you free elemental shards. So in this case, that's light. So definitely do that every day. And then there's also the light hard quest, which gives you just like normal pool shards and a few different gear shards and other random stuff, but you also get elemental shards as the milestone for doing them. So definitely do that as well. As you can see, Lisanaut does not have a soul shard quest because you're not really supposed to be able, you can't enlighten her yet, and so there's not as much of a reason to hoard her shards as there normally would be. That is some of the appeal to those units, is that you can get them, pop the elemental shards into them, and you're good to go. So yeah, if it wasn't for Narrow, I probably would have gone for her, but luckily I've got Adelaide to keep my fire team running smoothly. There's also this jam level. I did it once. It was mildly hard, I guess. Just make sure you keep statuses away. It's nothing too special. It's elemental shards and some sins and some retributions. You also can get about 150 gems from the milestones. So yeah, nothing too crazy there. I really want to try my Maka against them because I've gotten her way more enlightened. But yeah, anyway, that aside. But I did mention the tower, so let's take a look at that. So this, I believe, should be the final of the Xeno Towers. Just dark is the only element left. I have made a small amount of progress into it. I think I'm like, what, 10? No, 14 floors in. So yeah, this is definitely worth doing. If you have trouble clearing it, at the very least, do like the beginning floors, because just clearing the first floor gives you 500 gems. And then you get a lot of other good stuff along the way too. Enlightenment materials. Do they give greed foxes now? I don't see any. But that's okay though. The main goal though is to get the gear. And then once you finish it, you can get coins for doing it that you can then spend in the shop. And you know what? I actually never looked at it earlier today. I knew I'd forgotten something. There it is. Ooh, I don't know about that. Well, okay, nothing too great in that shop, because like all these units have been farmable for some time, so I have at least farmed all of these people out beyond the need to gather more of their shards. That's a little bit disappointing. So hoping they'd at least throw an EXer in there or something, like I don't know, maybe Kuza or Lakina or something. But nope, they were pretty stingy this time around. Bad Gumi. So yeah, between Phantom of the Kill, and there's also 3 new EX levels as well, which are going to be a good source of otherworldly shards for enlightenment, and then the otherworldly retributions and the bubbles. So you should be able to take at least one Phantom of the Kill unit to Gate 6 if you want to. I'm looking at Dark Masamune. I got like a decent chunk of the otherworldly shards, enough to at least pop Gate 6, but I'm going to wait until later, because, you know, a weekend banner could change things, something like that. So yeah, I would say that is it for the content. Definitely enough to keep us busy for the week. And let's move on to the banners. Alright, before we go to the banners, just real quick, I wanted to point out that in the Phantom of the Kill secret shop, if you have enough paid gems lying around for a paid banner, and say maybe none of the banners were really appealing to you, you also have the option of just, for the same amount, getting either the general Phantom of the Kill memento or the Masamune / Dark Masamune related memento instead. And if you've got a Dark Killer especially that you are really focused on, you really like using, this might be a viable alternative to just doing a paid summon. You know, your mileage may vary on that, of course, but I just wanted to point out that that's an option, especially if you're thinking about Gate 6ing your Dark Masamune. Then it gives you an incentive to maybe grab this memento instead and pop it on the sub slot. Okay, now let's go to the banners for real this time. Luckily, there is some good news this time around for those seeking the new unit. If it'll load. But before we get to that, there is a memento reroll banner. So this one is expensive because it's like around $50 or so to do. And you can redraw 3 times, and every memento except for collaboration is on the table. So that could be worth it if you're kind of gunning for a bunch of limited mementos. That would be the time to do it. Like, say maybe you did the 9-step and you didn't get Neros or Einses or Souls or something, or there's a bunch of global ones you're going after. I'm going to pass on it this time because I think it's a little bit more expensive than it's worth to me, because I just went through a whole slew of memento gathering for a bunch of my favorite characters. So a little too late for that now, banner. Then after that, we've got something very interesting, and that is a 10-step for 1,000 gems each. Just get a whole bunch of elemental and rainbow shards. So if you're in a position where you've got a bunch of units that you really like, but you've hit a wall in terms of being able to raise them, then this could be worth it for you. I don't want to do it because I don't want to spend, 10k gems after I just suffered a giant blow thanks to Nero. But depending on what your situation is, this could be very, very useful if raising what you have is a higher priority than acquiring something new. And then next we have part 2 of the community choice special. So this is similar to last week. You do the banner and you get a bunch of coins, and if you do it 1,000,000 times, you can get a selector. And if you happen to pull dupes of certain units, you'll get 100 shards. It's not awful, not amazing. I feel like if you have some of these units you're really going for, or you're determined to just, what was it, like 80,000, 70,000, something crazy, an insane amount of gems, more than I spent going into Nero to get the selector. So I don't think that's worth it, but it could be to some people, at least for the chance to get them. And then after that, we've got a very good banner if you are trying to get the new Unit Lisanaut, because it's just a simple 9 steps. You get her at the end, if you don't get her before that, and then you also guaranteed get 2 other Phantom of the Kill units. Now, granted, there's more bad ones than good ones, but there's quite a few good ones. Like Dark Masamune is one of my favorite units in the game, especially not related to Veda units. She's great. There's a few others like any of the Dark Killers, as far as I can tell, are at least good, if not great. So this banner is great. If you want to get Lisanaut, do this, and then do not do the banner below it, because it is quite bad. For reasons I say every week. Just, you You should tell yourself, if there's no guarantee, then there's no deal. And you can just end up wasting your gems. Like, I hope that if any of you saw my narrow summoning video, just to show like how many times you can summon on it and not get anything good, like that's why I think these banners are awful. Because like the saving grace of the 5-step was the 25 shards, and this doesn't even have that. So yeah, stay away from that and stay away from that. And then next up is an enlightenment banner for Phantom of the Kill. So only the dark killers are on boosted rates, but I did want to point out that the god killers plus Lisanaut are available on this banner, so you could get them. So that could be a nice bonus if you're looking to raise up one of the dark killers especially. You could potentially get one of the newer ones as a bonus. You know, it's a big pool though, so just keep that in mind. Then we have the collab style for Memento banner for Lisanaut's Memento. And it's just, 5 steps, get it guaranteed. That one is, pretty reliable, expensive. So if you have a decent amount of gems or you've been specifically waiting for this unit, then it's not a bad option as far as, 20k-ish to get the unit, and then another 10k, maybe minus like discount ticket, like 12k, I guess, to get both the unit and the Memento for someone that you don't have to worry about enlightening, at least in the short run. That's not a bad deal. So I could definitely say that like that type of unit, I like that choice that they've made as far as how they're statting the units. So you don't run into the problem of like getting a unit and then being like, well, where do I go from here? And then also Tiferet's has come back as well. Not sure why Failnauts didn't come back, or Cassius's, but maybe they're just going to do like a rotation every time Phantom of the Kill comes back, which is nice. That's like, they call it a collab. They really shouldn't. It's really just a recurring event. But on the plus side, we can use collab resources on them, so that is definitely a plus. And then everything else below that is an older banner. So still got a week to go after Nero. That's like, I did it today, so I could get the 7 days worth of the free shards. So if you're going to do that, kind of today's sort of the last chance to maximize the benefit there. And other than that, yeah, that was the banners for the week. So I would really, really, really like a breather week for once, because we've just been getting like good unit after good unit after good unit. It's exhausting. But yeah, so have fun on the tower, and I will see you guys next time.